3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Toon Flash. A new episode. New episode is what I meant to say.
No episode.
No episodes ever.
No episodes.
We're continuing our Nickelodeon bracket with the Penguins of Madagascar versus.
You know what? Can I just say, Penguins of Madagascar is such a great show.
I know, right?
Highly, just like so well done. They had Shigo in there voicing an otter. The Penguins were just so articulate. They added so much more to the characters from the movies. I just want to say that real quick. I'm sorry.
No,
versus.
Totally on board with you. It's a very underrated show, and I think whoever it is up against is gonna have a hard time today.
I don't.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Versus SpongeBob SquarePants.
Well,
Oh.
Oh God. All right, so let's just say this.
I'm very surprised that Penguins even made it into the bracket.
Same.
No other Nickelodeon shows?
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm like
it wasn't
Chalk
even that
Zone
big.
didn't make it into this bracket.
You
What?
sacrificed Chalk Zone for
What about-
fucking
All right,
Penguins of Madagascar.
I can give you a reason. One word.
Children.
Memes.
Yeah, memes.
Memes.
Yeah.
The show is
Okay.
everywhere. I don't know how that happened. But
Oh,
I see
God.
fucking Penguins of Madagascar on Twitter so often.
This shit came out when I was a senior.
Kowalski analysis.
Yeah.
Kowalski analysis, and then like they added like different things like to the penguins than in the movies because I know like what was that the one that doesn't talk, the one that eats everything.
Oh,
I don't-
Rico?
Yeah, Rico. Like he looks way different in the cartoon than he does in the movies because he has like a spiked up hair and like missing eye and stuff like that. I guess that just make him stand out more. But yeah, like Penguins. I remember. That was a show I actually used to watch a lot in high school. Like I was in my senior year of high school and that would just be on. Like I'd be like coming home and just watching that. And I don't know, like I think I forget her name, but Shigo as the otter just cracked me up. Like I don't know, like her just personality was great. And then like the penguins just doing their little things. It was interesting to see like how they went in. Cause I remember I didn't see Madagascar 2 before I saw the show. When you know that hippo man, Moto, whatever his name is, or something. But yeah, it was interesting show.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they barely had any characters from Madagascar in there.
Right.
was
They
very
did have King Julian, like because
Right,
I ended up watching some of the Penguins of Madagascar since I knew we were going to talk about it because I had only seen like the Madagascar movies and the Penguins of Madagascar movie.
Oh yeah, I haven't
Which
seen
I
that.
never watched.
Which I actually think that movie is very funny.
Oh yeah, like the whole
yeah.
Cheeto scene still cracks me up. It's one of those jokes that like I see it coming, but it just makes me laugh. Like every time where he's just like, "Calm down, I want to calm down," and he's just eating the stuff while he keeps talking to him. That's funny.
it's a classic gag.
Yeah,
There was a second Madagascar show about King Julian.
yeah, that's on
Hey, King
Netflix.
Julian.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was like because when I was watching through the first season of Penguins of Madagascar, I only watched like a few episodes, but King Julian it becomes like his show a bit in the first season at
Dude,
least.
he even in the like Madagascar like
movie.
the not penguins. The
Yeah.
penguins are great, but like Julian fucking killed me. I thought he was the funniest character in the movie. I love how big of an ego he has. Like, I am the king, everyone loves me. And so,
So then the whole shit where he's just like, okay, you're gonna walk right up to this woman, you look her right in the eye till you're just a lips distance away from each other, and then you just tell her how much you hate her. Shit like that. It's just so funny. It's just so funny.
but Sacha Baron Cohen, I think, is the voice of Julian in the movie.
Yeah, he
Oh.
is in the
I
movies.
didn't know that.
I remember my dad used to show me that scene so often, the dance scene from Madagascar. I don't know why.
But the Move It one?
that, yeah, exactly.
Oh god. Oh god.
What a children
I
like.
stole the show so much that the first episode of the show was about him. Like the camera one.
Right.
So
Like he really wanted that spinoff.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess he got it. So
I'm surprised they never made a Julian movie, but whatever.
that's gonna happen.
Well, it's not too
Penguins-
late.
The Penguins movie didn't do all that well, so I don't know.
Oh really?
But I'm surprised they did a Julian or a Penguins movie before Julian. But I guess the Penguins are like
Yeah,
also
Yeah,
popular.
they have
Everything-
right up here. They have the minion appeal.
Do you remember like that penguins were like a sort of like a trend in the mid 2000s?
Yeah, with Happy Feet and then
Yeah,
Surfs Up.
with Happy Feet, Surfs Up. There was March of the Penguins, and then the Penguins of Madagascar.
They were
They
all like
actually had
bad.
to change the plot of Rio because it would have been another film about penguins. Just so many were released around the same
crazy.
time.
Rio was the one about those blue birds, right?
Yeah, which are
Oh yeah, those are
now.
extinct now, actually. So that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can never make a third Rio, otherwise it's gonna be very awkward.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god. Yeah. Penguins of Madagascar. That was a interesting show. But gotta move on. All right, so
I never watched SpongeBob.
oh really? Wow, sir, you are just completely like you got to go join Mr. Patrick Starr over there because you're under a rock.
Because you're under a rock. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, but like, look, I'm just gonna say this: pre-movie SpongeBob is legitimately one of the funniest cartoons in cartoon history.
It's comedy gold.
No contest. Like pre-movie SpongeBob, the first movie was good. I haven't seen the second movie yet, so I don't know. But like those episodes, god tier rewatchability any time of day. Laugh are gonna happen. Like they're just
extremely quotable.
Mm-hmm. Extremely quotable, extremely well done. I like how Patrick in the early seasons, even though they dumb him down a bit, like he was just sort of a lazy guy, but he's just like he was an idiot, but he wasn't like he wasn't like completely flanderized to the point of like, oh, I'm incompetent yet. He was just like, I'm lazy and I'm an idiot and I just don't want to do this. And like he was trying to help out SpongeBob, like the whole thing, like, no man, you got to be sophisticated. Put your pinky up. Does she mean you want to put on airs? Oh, that's fancy talk. It's just like he actually had advice to give, so it was just like,
bad fucking advice.
Bad advice, but still he was a good friend.
He was a fucking anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. And then remember that shit where he would like keeping SpongeBob. Oh my god! And then he went to the freaking doctor. And he was like, "No, you can't go to the doctor, SpongeBob."
Yeah, poor Sandy's like, "Go to the doctor, please." He's like, "No,
no, don't."
No, I mean, I'm with you. SpongeBob is legendary, and it's gonna. I mean, it's not gonna be a surprise. It's probably gonna end up being the semifinals, unless you guys really disappoint me. But like, it's like the equivalent of a Bugs Bunny, or like I'd say Mickey Mouse, but Mickey's not as funny by any means. But like, still, like this is the character that kind of like, symbolizes the modern cartoons. Well, quote unquote modern. I guess.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna stick around for just as long. We're getting spin-offs now.
Yeah, but Cosmo, you've seen like all of SpongeBob.
Yeah, even the new seasons. I gotta commend you for that.
Too many times. Yeah, and from experience, I can say, though, like people tend to criticize everything that came after the movie. I'm with you for certain seasons. Like that, there are two seasons 5 and 7. I can barely watch any episode of, except for like ones that I put pretty high up in my little rankings. But even then, like they are not outstanding episodes when compared to pre-movie SpongeBob.
Nick poses with me.
Poses with me.
From the
You're the physique of Atlas. Oh man,
it's cool. We're never gonna run out of quotes. Even when it makes it into the finale.
Yeah, there's so many. And also, like, I'll defend, like, Season 4 a bit, because I think I still like Season 4 of SpongeBob.
You know what? I can agree with that.
There's still some, like, pretty funny episodes in there.
Friggin' Krusty Towers is awesome.
Yeah, I love Krusty Towers.
Yeah.
What was the season with the normal episode? Because that was the last episode I really loved. Like that, I remember watching him back in the day. I was like, I smoothed out the edges of my personality, and
it might have been season 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay. That was an episode I liked, but then I remember the exact episode where I was like, I don't like SpongeBob that much anymore. It was the Atlantis episode with the blue thing with the red lips.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Atlantis Squarepants.
Yeah, that shit. Whatever. I hated that episode so much. Like, so it just kept me from watching the rest of the series.
What? But then you didn't like the epic David Bowie song?
No, I didn't. I was like, David Bowie, you're better than this. It's just like,
is he?
Oh yes. Rest in peace. But you know, the recent episode I did see.
I thought. Never mind. I was thinking someone else.
He's been dead for a couple years now.
I was thinking David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
You did good, Hasselhoff.
Well, it is related. He was in the movie.
Yeah, he's on the
they
floor
were the
eating
first to do
burgers
it.
still. That's what he's doing.
They didn't put him.
Bowie. I mean, Dave Hasselhoff. Whoops.
Oh God.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
not to spoil the second movie for you, Jax, but he doesn't appear in it. They didn't put a second Hasselhoff cameo in that.
Fuck,
I'm
man.
very
that was
disappointed.
That was
You're
so
done good, Hasselhoff.
But you know, I will say this: SpongeBob, because I mentioned this like a few times before in the past. But like, there was a recent episode they did that I really liked. I think it was one of the last ones written by Steven, and it was the one where all the people are turning, all the creatures are turning back into their original form. So like, there's turning into whales and squids and stuff like that, and like Pearl and Squidward start fighting each other, and he has to keep Mrs. Puff from eating Mr. Krabs. And I thought that was a really funny episode in the newer season. So I was like, oh, they're doing that again. Then that's good. That's good quality stuff. I missed that.
Yeah,
Steven
they keep
himself.
changing up the rules for when they go on land. Sometimes they're able to breathe.
Yeah, they
on
change it a
land,
lot.
Sometimes they aren't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to Steven Hillenburg though for making because he was an oceanographer that like made the show and I guess the cartoon and or is the comic, right? Wasn't the comic at first? Just like Steven Hillenburg was such a wholesome, good, awesome fella. And
I went to it was either like the aquarium or marine institute he worked at. Like I went to that when my mom lived down in California.
Really?
And there's like these tide pool stuff you can touch in there. And
cool.
like that's like what he took inspiration from was like tide pools and like the different weird creatures that live in it.
It worked out well.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a great guy. He was a generally good guy with that show and everything he's been like sadly rest in peace. But yeah, SpongeBob I think is a great show. Like the characters are just so memorable. Like even side characters, like there are just so many side characters you don't think of. Like heck, like the whole my leg thing has become a legendary thing. Like, my leg. Like, and there was a whole episode like about like Cosmo, you know about that. Like what was it? I because I never saw the full thing. Like what was that whole thing where the my leg guy had his own episode?
Yeah, that was pretty recent.
It was
the whole
recent?
episode where he just kept on hurting his leg in different ways.
Really? And that's it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
like, did they specify like why his leg's indestructible or something?
Well, yeah, the plot is it starts off with a montage where he hurts his legs multiple times, and at the end of the episode, he ends up falling in love with his leg. It's
What? Okay. All right.
He's freaking married, gets his own song. It's crazy. It's insane, but it very much describes what modern SpongeBob has turned into. So I think it's a good introduction if you're gonna try and like get back into the show. I'd suggest starting out with that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Pan, what do you think?
Well, in terms of like which is the better show or what?
Oh no, like it's SpongeBob, like because we've all been just singing his praises, you know.
I mean,
in
it's
general.
like I don't know. It's SpongeBob. It's the show that I watched like a billion times whenever it was on. Like I remember, like Rugrats used to be my favorite show, and then when SpongeBob came about, I was like, "Fuck Rugrats!" I don't know.
Babies.
Yeah.
Clean your diapers, babies.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, SpongeBob like really took like Rugrats' throne.
It did. Like that was a
And
shame.
it still has its throne.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless the Loud House takes it over, because like Loud
Yeah.
House is
Nah.
it's like
With
Nickelodeon
SpongeBob,
usually
you also
cancels-
have marketability, and SpongeBob is such a recognizable character. You don't have that with the Loud House.
Well,
Lincoln
well,
isn't
not
nearly.
kind.
What?
it takes time, you know.
Yeah, and Loud House is still really good.
Yeah, Loud House is pretty
Which we'll talk about that when we get to
Get
it.
to it.
Yeah.
But SpongeBob for like the pre-movie seasons, like I still like think are like some of the best like cartoons like ever put on television.
Yeah.
And then like stuff afterwards. And then stuff afterwards, like some of it's good, but it's a testament to how long it's been airing, and like they rerun a lot of the first 3 seasons because they're so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're fucking geniuses with those first 3 seasons. It's just like it's one of those things when because I remember like back in 2014. I actually injured my back and I couldn't like move for 2 weeks. I was like stuck watching TV, and I was just like, okay, what's on? And I would watch SpongeBob, and then the classics would come on, and then the new episodes would come on, and it's just like such a stark contrast to like, oh wow, this is smart, this is sort of And then, I mean, every now and then there was like one of those like, oh, this was actually pretty well done. Like I like the whole Patchy the Pirate special and stuff like that. Like
SpongeBob betrayed us.
SpongeBob betrayed us. Polly, what are we gonna do? Yeah, that was funny. That was great.
Tom Kenny is a legend.
Mhm.
Yeah, I fucking
It
love
really
that
is.
part. I command this particular drop of hot sauce to be really, really hot.
Yeah.
Who the fuck comes up with that line? Like, it's like only SpongeBob, really. Like, it's like a combination of the slapstick humor of Looney Tunes combined with, like, I guess a nice fresh paint of like modern humor. Like, not saying the humor is particularly like, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I mean, modern.
What do you mean, like a more outlandish or something like that? Or
I
like,
guess because like Squidward is Daffy Duck in a way, but he's more of a depressed like cash register, cashier versus Daffy, who's just a sassy duck. Like SpongeBob is a dopey version of Bugs Bunny with his Toon Force, who always blows up Squidward in the process. The same way that Bugs always gets at Squidward or at Daffy. Like it's a formula. For these characters and slapstick humor, and that's what Looney Tunes did. That's what SpongeBob does. They just added some, like, I guess, it's weird because I'm stuck here where it's not really the writing is anything like that makes it dated with quote unquote.
oh, it's timeless.
It's very timeless.
Yeah,
It
very
is timeless,
Yeah.
but like the humor, I think they kind of made it to where it's like digestible for kids and adults. Where like there are jokes in there where it's like adults are going to get this. Squidward smells nice or whatever, or how the are ya?
Oh my god! So
Off the move. Find a new name. No, not again. Like that, you won't see that kind of writing in Looney Tunes, really.
Or the man baby, I can explain.
Oh no!
I guess there's a quirky brand of humor from SpongeBob, and that's why like it's so memeable, and also it's quotable, like what's already been stated, which makes it great for like. I mean, SpongeBob probably is like the most memed on cartoon of all time for good reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Want to say anything else about penguins?
No,
No.
Eh.
SpongeBob.
I like it.
I like the otter.
I like how it's 3D animated, but they did a good job at making it like seem traditionally cartoony with the sound effects. I like how they move around, and it can be very fast paced, even though most of it is like dialogue based.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Mhm.
So I don't mind having that one on in the background either, and I would watch it a few times when I was younger. Now I sort of start to notice that it's a lot more trimmed down. You usually know what a plot is going to turn into at the beginning of the episode. But it's a fine show.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate opponent.
Yeah. I'm surprised like any of the DreamWorks shows made it in.
Yeah, seriously.
But since like we were going like, if they call it a Nicktoon, it's getting in, and that was a Nicktoon. So
Yeah, I
it
don't
just went against
I don't
one of the
think
most
anyone
powerful
would
Nicktoons.
expected it to make it in. Like it wasn't even that close to any of the. I think it was 10th place or 11th.
Yeah,
So-
I was very surprised by that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I think we all know what we're voting for.
And the upcut comes from the penguins. Yes, they were amazing. We've been trolling the entire time. Really, later, people. Go check out Paleo Cosmo Pan.
So we all knew who was number one here.
Yes. He was always number one. And he's a very
voting.
pretty girl. And he knows what he's doing.
So are we all voting for SpongeBob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not even a joke. Like it's SpongeBob.
Yeah. Such
Well,
a
I'm voting penguins.
Wow. You betray me.
Someone's got to give the pity vote.
No.
well, nobody did the last round.
Yeah, we're not giving pity
Okay.
votes this
All
round.
right.
Last
SpongeBob.
bracket, we got like this is intense. This is like the dark red sky era of this.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
not intense thus far, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to get intense in a few rounds, but yeah. All right, so SpongeBob, moves on to the next round, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Later.